Wake up! Welcome to an episode of No Script News, where I give you the news unfiltered, raw. I don't even research it. I just look at the headline and make things up because that's what I do. Just pretty much give you my opinion on it. And if you don't like it, well, there's always something else to watch. Go! Leave! Now! I dare you! Please don't go. Listen to it. It's very important. Very important news coming up. Karl Jobst. Karl Jobst is gonna need a job because he owes Billy Mitchell over 300 million US dollars when you include the lawyer fees because he lost his lawsuit against him. Now, all this time, supposedly, he has been misleading his audience, saying that he was being sued because he was calling Billy Mitchell a liar. And that was part of the lawsuit. At least it seemed like it in the beginning when he got his cease and desist letter, or his initial attempt to be sued. But eventually the cheating part was taken off, and it was all about being accused of being responsible for the death of Apollo legend. I guess Karl Jobst accused Mr. Donkey Kong Man. Donkey Kong Man didn't like it. He told Karl Jobst to retract it. He wouldn't do it. And this is what happens. Now, a lot of his community thought, though, that they were donating to fight the accusations that Billy Mitchell was a cheater. One that has been documented widely across the internet for about 20 years now. And even though the evidence is stacked against Billy Mitchell, it still has not yet been confirmed 100%. And now with this lawsuit, the water is going to be a little bit muddied now. People are going to assume that Billy Mitchell won his suit, saying that he's not a cheater. And Karl Jobst, well, it's safe to say that his career is pretty much ruined. He's going to have to spend a lot of his time making videos on YouTube, getting sponsors, just to pay back Billy Mitchell. Unless a wealthy benefactor out there like Notch is willing to give $500,000 for this cause. And I don't think they're going to do that because that's a lot of money. And again, I don't think subscribers are going to help Karl Jobst because it seems they all turned on him. Or at least a lot of the internet and his friends have. Now, me personally, I was shocked. I thought he was going to win the suit. Especially the way that Karl Jobst was talking about it this whole time, making videos about Billy Mitchell and his lack of evidence. But when your lawyers are fighting the wrong accusations, I guess this is what happens. So for everyone out there, just goes to show you can't talk shit about people that you hate just because you hate them. You have to have actual proof of stuff they did. And for someone like Karl Jobst and people like him, the sharks are swimming. Who's to say the completionist isn't going to go after Karl Jobst next, especially now that he's weakened and you don't have the money to defend himself. So again, this is just a lesson for everybody out there who talks about other people on the internet. But now a little bit of good news when it comes to games, and that's Atomfall. They have about 1.5 million players so far. It's Rebellion's best launch ever. Now, it's 1.5 million players because this game also launched on Game Pass, so people who bought Game Pass are playing it, and that's why they count players and not actual games sold. Now, when it comes to being sold and players, it's a big old brouhaha over the internet, but I think players is the way of the future, especially with free-to-play games and games with microtransactions. You want players into your ecosystem to spend that money, even if you didn't buy it up front. Now, you want the best of both worlds. You want sales and players. But sometimes, because you are part of a prescription service, then you have to settle for players. So I don't mind it one bit. I think 1.5 million players is a lot of people. Now I'm playing it on Game Pass, and I'm sure a lot of other people are too. But we gotta remember this game's also for sale on PC, or will be, and on PlayStation. And I don't doubt maybe the Switch too. So there's gonna be more and more people playing this game and buying it. So far, I like it. It's a little different. It's a cross between different type of games, but it still has its own identity. The only gripe I have about it right now is that it still has a little bit of bugs that need to be ironed out. I got stuck in a loading screen and I had to reset my whole playthrough. It was about 20 minutes, I didn't save, but that's my own fault. I think it does automatic save, but still. I've heard reports of people having sound glitches or other stuff back when it first launched. It's about 2 weeks old now, so most of the bugs are ironed out. So I would give it a go if you're into adventure games and into alternate history type games. I'm only a couple hours in, but so far, so good. And last, we'll be talking about Nintendo. Now, usually I have more stories and shorter stories when it comes to no script news, But Nintendo is pretty much taking over the whole internet. And there's just a bunch of stuff that they're doing this generation or next generation for the Switch 2 that I just don't like. I already did a standalone PSR video talking about the Switch and why I'm not going to buy it. And it had to do with the price of the game, starting at $80 or, around $80. And that's just way too much for me. $70 was way too much for me. And that's going to be like their base price. Donkey Kong Bonanza is $70. But yet, Mario Kart Racing is $80. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to be buying $80 games for Nintendo. And given how Nintendo games never drop, it seems like you're always going to be paying top notch, 70, 60, $80, $90 for Nintendo games. And that's just way too crazy. But it don't stop there. Nintendo gets even more crazier. They have these fake little games, or they call game cards, where the game isn't actually included into the game card, like a little SD card. What you have to do is download it from the internet, and every time you want to play that game, you have to use that little SD card. So you pretty much have a game code locked to an SD card, but there's no actual physical game on there. It's just another way of fooling, I guess, the consumers to think they have games in their game boxes when they actually don't. Now imagine paying $80 for just a game card and not an actual game. So it's a code in there. It's like a digital code into a physical little game card. It just doesn't make sense. It's like, just put the freaking game on there. But they're trying to find different ways to nickel and dime people. Same things with upgrades on their last gen games. Xbox and a lot of third party studios did it for free. Ubisoft, Rebellion, CD Projekt Red. I mean, the list goes on. They did mid-gen upgrades for free. So you're able to put Cyberpunk 2077 in your Xbox and it'll just look better. Same for a lot of Assassin's Creed games. But Nintendo wants to charge you. They haven't told you how much they want to charge you for the upgrade. Probably 10, 20 bucks. But still, that's just, 10, 20 bucks for each game that you're going to try to upload. And not only that, it turns out that not all of the games are going to be backward compatible for the Switch and the Switch 2. There's a list of a lot of games that are not compatible right now. So unless Switch 2 and Nintendo get their act together, a lot of the games that we have for the Nintendo Switch are not going to be able to be played on the Switch 2, which they promised that we would. So there again, they're lying. And not to mention that they're charging for that tech demo that they have that shows you different features about the Nintendo Switch 2, history and stuff like that. Almost like Astrobot when he launched with the PlayStation 5, how it had that awesome tech demo. So awesome that they even made a game about it. That was free for the PlayStation. Celebrating PlayStation, celebrating the PlayStation gamers, giving them just a little taste of what the PlayStation can do, especially with the DualShock controller or the DualSense controller. But Nintendo, they want to charge you for it. And it turns out back in the day when the Wii launched, they wanted to charge you for Wii Sports because they didn't believe in giving anything away for free. And especially now we can see that. But Reggie Aljamain talked them into it because the Wii was such a new concept that they wanted to get people to get familiar with it, and Wii Sports was a perfect game for that. Now it looks like this tech demo might be the perfect game to explain the Switch 2 and its features, but they want to charge you for it. That's Nintendo for you, nickel and diming its players. So if you get stuck into the Nintendo Switch 2 ecosystem, you're going to be paying top dollar for all of their first party games. And right now their game prices are all over the board. Third party to first party, they range from like $40, for Bravely Default, to $90 or $80 for digital versions of Mario Kart. So Nintendo really has to get their act together. They gotta, be on the same page and understand that people don't have the money like they used to have before. They don't have the time like they used to have before. It costing about $500 is already a lot of money. Then the games, that's just too damn much. And not to mention tariffs and inflations that have not hit the prices of these consoles yet. Supposedly, Nintendo moved their production line to Vietnam to avoid the tariffs that will be coming out of China. But then now Trump has announced tariffs for Vietnam and pretty much the rest of the world. So much so that the U.S. Stock market tanked today over 12,000 points from the Dow, 300 from the S&P and so on. So it looks like Nintendo products just might be more expensive than the prices that they indicated right now. And those are just a few of the things that I'm not liking from Nintendo coming out. And this is just the first couple of days. As the time comes by and more information is released, we're going to hear about more stuff. Now, this will be the first time that I don't buy a Nintendo console at launch. I'm going to have to wait and see. I'll buy it in 6 months when they do a redesign or, in a special edition. Because what I'm hearing so far is just not for me. Now that's gonna do for this episode of No Script News. Let me know what you guys think about Karl Jobst getting what he deserves, I guess. Losing the lawsuit. Let me know what you guys think about Atomfall. If you guys had a chance to play the game, if you like it, or if you have any bugs that you guys don't like. And let me know about Nintendo. All the stuff that they're charging for. If you think it's justified. I know a few of you guys are excited about it still. Just let me know if I'm wrong, or maybe I'm just not seeing it in the correct way. Maybe I can be wrong, but with those prices, I don't think I am. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'll catch you guys on next one. Remember, always be kind to yourself and enjoy your life. And I'll meet you right there. Peace.